Hi, and thanks for tuning in. This presentation was one that we did live for a small group of people that were interested in going to South India with us on our South India Odyssey Tour. And so we are recording it so that those of you who couldn't make it are able to watch and learn a little bit about this tour. Hopefully this answers all of your questions. If not, of course, please call me, Lorraine Whittemore, at PlanUrEscape Cruise Planners Travel, 860-779-6531, or my cell phone, 860-230-1506. On the last slide, I will post that information so that you know how to reach me. Enjoy the presentation. Before we delve deeper into the itinerary for the trip, let's just talk about some general travel information for India. You do need a visa for India. It's very simple to do. You can apply online through the Indian embassy. Your passport cannot expire within 6 months of the day you arrival, and you need 2 completely blank pages in your passport. So if you don't have that, you will need to get your passport renewed. Currently, a visa for India is $160. It's good for up to 10 years, and there's an additional processing fee of $19.90. We will fly into Chennai for this trip and out of Cochin. The flight cost right now out of Boston, where many of us will be leaving from, is approximately $900 per person. The weather at this time of year is late spring moving into summer. So we can expect that the nights will be cool, and as the day progresses on, it could get up into the 90s by afternoon. But then the temperature will drop again in the evening. The humidity will just be starting to build, so mild humidity. We'll be in the mountains and for some of the trip, and so it will be much cooler there. Expect similar weather to June in New England. The food in India is mainly vegetarian, a lot of lentils, rice, and stews. Of course, you can still get meat. In some areas, we'll be able to get fish, but the traditional menu for India tends to be vegetable type dishes. The language spoken in the areas that we'll be in southern India there are 5 separate languages. However, most people speak Hindi or English. Primarily, you'll find a lot of people that speak English, so we shouldn't have any language barrier issues as we travel. Money in India is the Indian rupee, and right now $1 is worth 70.67 rupees. You can convert money in the US before you go, or you can let your bank know that you want to use your ATM card when you get to India and then take money out when we get there. Also, you can use credit cards, but mostly only in large restaurants and hotels as opposed to in small shops. So if you want some good bartering money or shopping money, it's best to have rupees. Ellen Schaefer of One Yoga Center in Foster was the primary designer for this itinerary. Ellen has spent a significant amount of time in India and had some specific things that she thought were important to include in the trip. We chose to move into southern India over the more popular and highly touristed northern areas and larger cities, like where the Taj Mahal is and Varanasi and some of those places, although we are offering that as a post trip for anybody that might want it. But Ellen and I both, through a lot of discussion and research, thought that the trip would have a lot more of a special feeling to it by going south. The southern areas in India are known more for their incredible spiritualism, amazing landscapes, natural resources, wildlife. So it's a little bit slower paced, a little bit less touristed, and we should find more yoga, wellness, and spiritual flavor in this part of the country. So this map just shows you overall how we're traveling. We come into Chennai, which is on the east coast of India, where the little green circle is. We stay in that area. Actually, we stay in most areas for at least 2 nights so that there's not too much packing and unpacking. We stay there for a couple of nights, then we move on to Pondicherry and then into Trichy, up into the mountains of Ooty and Munnar, and then down over to the west coast, which is known for Ayurveda medicine and wellness centers. So we'll spend some time there. Real lovely evening overnight on a houseboat, and we'll learn about local cultures, some of the the beliefs and values and things that are a large part of the Indian culture, as well as artisans, and of course yoga, which is a significant part of our trip. We will arrive from the US into Chennai, which is a pretty large city, and we will spend some time there. As you can see, this amazing temple, there's just so much color and vibrance in this city. It's a little bit crazy and crowded, so we're not planning to spend a lot of time here, but we'll spend our arrival day here exploring a few of the sites. And then we're going to move on to Mamallapuram. Mamallapuram is on the coast, and so you will see some amazing beaches and coastal sites, as this one is, the Shore Temple. This temple is no longer used except for some special ceremonies, but much of the temple and the surrounding statuary around the temple is made from solid pieces of stone. It's really quite extraordinary. So we'll be spending some time here exploring this amazing ancient temple. Here is a photo of some of the Panch Rothas, excuse me if I'm destroying the language, temples. They're along with the Shore Temple, all on the Bay of Bengal. Some parts of this were 7th century, some 8th century. These things were carved out of one solid piece of stone. So they're really quite extraordinary. So on our first day in Mamallapuram, we will be exploring some of these areas. So we'll fly into Chennai, we'll see some things in Chennai, we'll stay overnight in Mamallapuram, get up the next day, see these temples and do some driving in the area and exploring in the area. And then we'll stay additionally another night in Mamallapuram. One of the really lovely and relaxing things that we plan to do is spend some beach time in Mamallapuram, where they have some of the most gorgeous beaches. And as you can see, there's cute little villages. There'll be shops, restaurants. We'll have some downtime, maybe interact some with the locals, see what life is like there in terms of beach going. We will have breakfast every day as part of the trip, and then lunch and dinner will be on our own. And we'll most likely go places all together, or sometimes people will want to split up depending on what they want to eat. But you can expect for food not to spend more than $5 to $10 on a meal. On day 3, we head to Pondicherry, where we have some very personal and special uh, um, activities arranged for the group. One of the fun things that we will do is some great shopping, as you can see from this picture, amazing spices. There'll be a beautiful fabrics. Uh, Make sure you are ready to do a little bartering and have some fun and buy some amazing things in Pondicherry. The other thing we're going to be doing here is spending some time in an ashram. We want to make sure that we have some experience of what that is. So we have some fun plans for you in Pondicherry. While we're in Pondicherry, Ellen has a great contact there with a gentleman who runs an ashram there. He is a doctor, and he also has integrated some amazing treatments in the local hospitals and health centers using yoga to help people, um, you know, build back their health or overcome an illness or various other things. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time there in the hospital, getting a bit of a tour and learning about how yoga is being used with medical treatments, and other health and wellness treatments. We're hoping also, while we're in India, to take some yoga classes in a local studio so we can see what it's like to learn yoga in India with a local yoga teacher. So we'll be keeping our eye out for those kinds of things, and we'll probably be doing a lot of that on the spur of the moment, and trying to learn more about how yoga is in India as compared to how we all experience it here in the United States. We're hoping to be able to give you the experience of an ashram. We are not planning to stay overnight in the ashram. We'll be staying in a hotel, most likely, but if we can arrange it and it will work, we will. And if we can't, we'll at least visit one and spend some time there and hopefully take some yoga classes there, some meditation sessions there. This particular one in the picture is Dr. Anand's ashram, and that's the gentleman that Ellen knows, and we're working with him to see if we can find some special experiences for the group. He also has an Indian dance company, and so we're going to arrange for an Indian dance demonstration, and that should be exciting. A little bit of diving deep into the culture. After 2 nights in Pondicherry, we will head to Trichy, which is kind of in the middle of the country. We are crossing over from the East Coast side to the West Coast, and we're going to use Trichy as the in-between place, so to create a smoother trip with a little bit less driving. In Trichy is a little bit bigger city, and we'll see things like this amazing Rockfort Temple, which towers over the city. This temple was dedicated to the god Shiva. We're only 1 night in Trichy, as we are using that as our crossing over point. But another amazing temple we will see while we're there is this temple, Sri Raghunathaswamy. Tried my best on that one. I guess I'll know how to say it by the time I get home. But this is an absolutely amazing temple. It's a shrine to Lord Vishnu. So we'll be exploring this and enjoying our time in Trichy. The next day we start to head up into the hills. We are going to drive up to Ooty, which it is a long driving day. So we have 2 long driving days, one up to Ooty and then one down. Very worthwhile place to go. However, we will be passing through some amazing landscapes on a fabulous winding road up the mountains, seeing all of these magnificent tea plantations, and we will stop several times along the way to stretch our legs, to visit smaller towns, to see things that we're interested in seeing. The one advantage of being in a private tour, as we will be, is that we control the actual coach. So we can decide when we want to stop, how often we want to stop, if we want to change the time we leave, or or switch some things around. We have complete flexibility to be able to do that. The only flexibility we don't have is the night stays. We have to get to the certain destinations that we have planned at night because we'll have already booked those hotels. But we will have lots of flexibility during the day. So we will, as a group, make some decisions and ensure that this long driving day is a fabulous one. There are lots of amazing things to do in Ooty. One of the things here is this magnificent botanical garden, but there are also day hikes you can take. You can explore the small town that's there. There'll be just an amazing amount of things to do in this outdoorsy small town up in the mountains. So you'll have one completely free day um, to enjoy what you would like to do in Ooty, and we'll provide you with lots of ideas. We'll probably do some things together, or people will go off and do things that they're interested in doing, and we'll catch up with each other in the evening. The must-see thing to do in the Ooty area is to take this amazing train ride down the mountain. Since we'll have our own coach, we didn't need to take the train up. So what we're going to do, for those who are interested, is we're going to go and take the train down the mountain and the coach back up, or take the coach down the mountain and the train back up, whichever way we decide, or whatever we can manage with availability of train tickets, because we can't book them ahead. But this is a must do activity. Ellen has done it before, and she said that it was absolutely fabulous. The scenery was amazing. The whole experience was just a fantastic experience. So we want to make sure that we do that. So that will be on our full day in Ooty. After 2 nights in Ooty, we head back down the mountain to Munnar. This is again a fabulous drive. We'll pass beautiful streams, rubber trees, spice plantations, waterfalls, tea, lush forests as we drive down to Munnar. There are lots of different things we can stop and do on the way, and we'll do those as we drive down. And then also in our overnight in Munnar, we'll take some a day trip to explore some of the area, the mountain area in this particular region. One of the things we'll see during our Munnar drive is the Munnar Hill Station. This is 1,600 meters above sea level. It used to be the summer resort of the British colonials, and it still has a lot of its charm in the particular area. It's most famous for its tea plantations, which for the most part are all privately owned. But we'll see these sprawling estates and rolling hills and sparkling waterfalls as we travel through this mountain area. One of the fun things to see in this area are the local mountain goats. So we'll be stopping and seeing these Neil Thar mountain goats. We'll also stop at Madhupeti Dam, and we'll be exploring a lot of this area. One of the fabulous things that we'll hopefully see as we travel along is elephants that will walk right through these tea plantations and wander on their trails that go through these areas. So we'll be on the lookout for some amazing wildlife sightings. And there's no way while we're in this area that we cannot stop at a tea plantation. So we'll be stopping at a tea plantation, learning a little bit about the tea trade in the areas. This is Tata tea, and there's just carpets and carpets of tea growing in this particular area. Tea has been growing here since 1790 when it was recognized as a perfect area to grow tea by the Duke of Wellington. After 2 nights in the Munnar area, we'll be heading to Kumarakom, which is a backwater area along the coast, along the west coast of India. So one of the most amazing things we will see there is the bird sanctuary. This area is renowned for amazing bird species, waterfowl, cuckoos, owls, migratory Siberian cranes, as well as others. And we'll take a small boat ride through the backwater and experience um, this beautiful, magnificent bird sanctuary via the lagoons. We will be just 1 night in this area. And one of the things that is very famous in this Kerala region of India is Ayurveda. So you will potentially want to take some time and sign yourself up for an Ayurveda treatment and see what it's like to experience that in India. And then just to continue to add unique experiences to your amazing trip in southern India, we are going to stay overnight on a rice boat. So during this particular day and night, all 3 meals will be included. We'll be on the rice boat. We'll be going down the river. We'll meet a lot of local people, explore small towns on the riverside. It'll be just amazing. In the night, we can, lay on the deck and look up at the stars. We'll have our own onboard cook. Um, we'll see these beautiful little villages as we float in this magnificent barge down the river. After our fabulous night's stay on our houseboat, we will be heading to Cochin, and again on the Kerala coastline. So we'll be still absorbing and taking in the amazing things that there are to see in this Kerala region, and then head to Cochin for the night. A fantastic activity that we'll take part in on our way to Cochin for the evening is to take a visit to the Vikon Village. And here you'll see local villagers hand weaving cloths out of cotton, silk, wool. We'll learn a lot about how pottery is made there, how their homes are made. We'll be invited to meet the local people and get a chance to talk to them about village life. And this is an authentic village that has been, dedicated to teaching people from outside of the country about the culture of these small villages along the western coastline of India. And we realize some people are thinking, wow, I'm going to go all the way to India and I won't get to see the Taj Mahal. It is a long way to get to India, but India is a very, very big country. So we really felt strongly that the southern part would give you the best taste of true Indian culture and local life. So that's where we focused. But if you would like to take a post trip, you can fly out of Cochin and go up to Delhi, see the Taj Mahal and the Agra Fort, and then take a flight to Varanasi where you'll see the sacred funeral rituals there, then back to Delhi for the flight home. We do have a pamphlet that explains this trip. The pricing will change based on how many people decide to go. But if you have that as an interest and you want to add an optional post trip, just let us know when you sign up, and then we can get you the information on cost for that. We hope this trip inspires you to sign up and join us. We'd love to have you come with us. For more information, you can log into this website, www.planurescape.net/India Odyssey, and more detail will be written there about the itinerary itself, with what's included, what's not, pricing, etc. The investment for you to join us on this trip is $1,997 per person. That's based on double occupancy. We will match same gender roommates. We do need a $300 deposit to hold your space. Final payment will be due on January 31st of 2020. We're trying to determine if we have enough people to make this a go. So if you are interested, please don't hesitate. Let us know right away that you're wanting to go, and provide your deposit. We will not actually cash any checks or take the deposit until we are sure that this is a guaranteed departure. But we need to know that you're serious and that you're definitely in, and that's why we are asking for the $300 deposit. Please feel free to call myself or Ellen with any questions that you have. Do note that this is a yoga vacation. We will be focusing a lot of our time on learning about yoga in India, and we will be our plan is to have a yoga practice at least once per day. We'll be doing other yoga practice on and off additionally, and meditation practices as well. We will also hopefully get to sign up for some yoga classes locally, which would be fun. If you are not a yoga person but find this a fascinating trip, or you're traveling with someone that does not practice yoga, it's optional. There's a lot of other things you can be doing. You could just sleep in while we're doing yoga in the morning. But don't let that cause you to hesitate, because the trip itself was so carefully curated to be an intimate cultural experience in India and give you an incredible taste of India, both culturally, historically, and spiritually. So we would love to have you come. Please, please call us if you have questions. Let us know if you would like to sign up. And we hope to be traveling with you in April. Namaste.